Greetings once again. I welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be dealing with financial maths, grade 11. So let's look at this question. It reads, a school buys tablets at a total cost of 140,000 if the average rate of inflation is 6.1% per annum over the next 4 years. Determine the cost of replacing these tablets in 4 years' time. Every time when you answer this question, 8.1, when you come across the word inflation, you must know that it goes with a compound interest. The word inflation goes along with the compound interest. So every time when the statement is containing this word inflation, which is the change of prices of goods and products over the period of time, we will need to use a compound interest. So as I told you, for this question, we are now going to say A is equals to P, 1 plus I to the power N. This is our compound interest. And then you have to write the information given down, A, P, I, and N. So what is the value of A here? A is what we are looking for. You put a question mark. P, the principal amount, is 140,000. Is 140,000. And then I is our interest rate. If you can go and check our interest rate here, is 6.1. We don't write 6.1. You must always say 6.1 divided by 100. We found that is 0.061. 0.061. And the number of years, in this case we are having 4 years. So now we have to calculate. Let's go and replace the given information in our formula here. P, we said, is 140,000. 1 plus I, we said I is 0.061. N, we said, is 4. We use a calculator to find the answer on this one. Just see 140,000, open brackets, 1 plus 0.061 to the power 4. We found that the replacement cost of this tablet in 4 years' time is going to be 177,414 rands and 69 cents. So this tablet will be 177,414 rands and 69 cents. Now we move to 8.2. 8.2, it says that an investment earns interest at a rate of 7% per annum, compounded semi-annually. Calculate the effective annual interest rate of this investment. So we have, every time when they say calculate the effective or nominal, we use this equation to say 1 plus IEFF. This formula is not provided to you. You have to know it by your heart, which is equal to 1 plus nominal divided by what? M to the power M. So if you look, M and M is the same thing. So this represents the compounding. M and M represent the compounding. So in this case, if we are to substitute here, we are calculating for what? We are calculating for the effective. This IEFF represent the effective interest rate. We are now going to make this the subject of the formula by saying IEFF is equal to, you open the brackets, 1 plus I norm over m to the power m minus 1. You transpose 1 to the other side. So let's write the given information down. IEFF is what we are looking for. I norm is the nominal interest rate that we are given here as what? 7%. Like, we don't write the percentage every time. When you see percentage, you just take that number, you divide it by 100. So 7 divided by 100, it gives you 0.07. So I norm give us 0.07. Then we have M, which represent our compounding. If you go and check here, it's saying that it compounded semi-annually. Semi-annually is like half yearly. So how many halves do we have in a year? We are having 2 halves. We are going to write 2. M represent 2. Compounding. We are having 2 halves. We know that half of a year it made by 6 months, but we don't use 6. We use 2 for semi-annually. So if we are to substitute everything in here, we are now going to have 1 plus 0.07 divided by 2 to the power 2 minus 1. So if you can see, the M represent the same thing. If I divide by 2 here, it means that I must multiply by 2 there, dealing with the effective interest rate. So now we replace everything in the calculator. We're gonna say, we use a calculator for everything. 1 plus 0.07 over 2 to the power 2 minus 1. Then the answer here is 0.07225. That is our answer. Our answer is 0.071225. Don't forget, we are looking for what? We are looking for the interest rate. So every time when you are looking for interest rate, if you find the decimal, make sure that you always multiply it by what? By 100. So the answer that we have here, we are now going to say multiply by 100 because we're converting this to what? To percentage. We found that is 7.12%. 7.12%. Our final 12%. 7.12%. 7.12%. That is our final answer on this question of 8.2. Then we move to 8.3. It says a savings account was opened with an initial deposit of 24,000. 18 months later, 7,000 was withdrawn from the account. Calculate how much money will be in the savings account at the end of 4 years if the interest rate was 10.5% PA compounded monthly. In this case, for us to be able to do the calculation, we are advised to use what? A timeline. Our timeline always start at T0. We have T1. This is the months. It's divided into the months. We have T2. And then if you check again here, they talk about T18. We see the withdrawal in T18. We see the withdrawal in T18. And then the entire length of this is 4 years. The entire length of this is 4 years. You should not forget. So at T0, this person invested how much? 24,000. We have plus 24,000 here. Plus 24,000. At T18, They are saying that 18 months later, 18 months later, negative 7,000 was withdrawn. And then this is compounded what? This is compounded monthly. Because it's compounded monthly, we are now going to say 4 multiplied by 12. It will take us to what? T48. The last term here is T48. Is T48. And again, you should not forget, this 24,000, we are going to raise it up to what? Up to T48. But the 7,000, if you look at the 7,000, it's starting from here. It starts from here to T48. What is the difference between 48 and 18? Just gonna say 48 minus 18, it gives you 48 minus 18, it gives you 30. This one we're having 30. For this one we're having 30. For 7,000 we're having 30 as our N. For 24,000 we're having 48 as our N. For this one we're having N as 48. Is for the entire period of this investment. So now, when you withdraw the money, we know that you are going to use minus. When you withdraw the money, we know that we are going to use minus. And because of the word compounded, we know that we are going to use what? Compound interest. So now we are now going to say that A is going to be P, 1 plus I to the power N, minus P, 1 plus I to the power N. So this one is the first deposit, this one is the withdrawal. Don't forget, we have the deposit and the withdrawal. So how much was deposited initially? We said it's 24,000. It's 24,000. 1 plus the interest rate. Interest rate is given as what? As 10.5%. We don't use 10.5. We say 10.5 divided by what? Divided by 100. We must always do this, which gives us 0.105. 0.105. They said it's compounded what? Compounded monthly. So because of that, we divide by 12 because we know that we're having 12 months. We're having 12 months in a year. And then we said for this deposit, N is going to be what? It's going to be 48. How do you get 48 from? Is 4 years multiplied by compounded monthly, which is 4 multiplied by 12. It gives you 48. Minus, how much was withdrawn? 7,000 was withdrawn. 1 plus the compounding is still the same thing, 0.105 over 12. How many months are left from month 18 to 48? We said it's 30. We use our calculator. If you are wise enough to use a calculator, you can write everything here in the calculator. The calculator can give you the final answer. Let's try. 24,000. I want to write everything here in the calculator. 24,000, open brackets, 1 plus 0.105, 0.105 over 12. Close the brackets, say to the power 48 minus 7,000, open brackets, 1 plus 0.105 over 12, close brackets, to the power 30. Let me see how much I'm getting here. 27,000 369 rands and 56 cents. This is correct. So the money that will be in this account will be 27,369 and 56 cents. That will be the amount of money. This person invested 24,000 and 18 months later withdrawn 7,000. At the end of 4 years, the person is going to get 27,369 and 56 cents. Simple as that. So we move to the next question. The next question is 8.4. 8.4, it says a car costing 198,000 rands has a book value of 102,755 rands and 34 cents after 3 years. If the value of the car depreciates at R% PA on a reducing balance, calculate the value of R. Reducing balance, we know that is A is equals to P 1 minus I to the power N. That is our reducing balance. We use the compound interest but with a negative. So let's write the information A, P, I, N. Age. This car is, the book value is now 102. A is 102,755, comma 34. They bought the car costing them 198,000. The interest rate is exactly what we are looking for. The period, that's talking about 3 years, meaning that we are having 3 there. So now we should substitute everything in the equation. A is 102,755,34 is equals to 198,000. 1 plus I to the power 3. This is how we substitute everything in here. So the first step that we can do here is to divide everything by what? 198,000. We can divide here by 198,000. Also divide here by 198,000. This and this can cancel. Then we use the calculator. We have 102,755,34 divide by 198,000. We found that it is 0,519663636 is equals to 1 plus I to the power 3. So we are solving for I, and now we have the cube root there. What we need to do, we have to cube root all the sides. Let me use a different pen. We have to get rid of this to the power 3. So we just have to cube root everything. We cube root everything. So this cube and this will cancel each other. After canceling each other, we're gonna remain with what is inside the bracket, which is 1 plus I. Then the other side, we just have to say the cube root. which is shift and this. I believe you can see the cube rule there, where it's located. Then I press answer because I already had this answer before. It's equals to, it give me this 0,8036119818. You are advised to write everything after a comma as you are still doing the calculations. 0,8036119818. Then from here we can transpose 1 to the other side. We can transpose 1 to the other side. When you transpose 1 to the other side, we are going to say this minus 1. Our answer is now going to be negative 0,1 negative 0,1963880,182. So that is our answer, negative 0,1963880,182 is equals to I. So from here we can, oh, my mistake, this is negative in here. My mistake, we are having negative here, having negative here, we are having negative here, mean that we're gonna remain with negative I. So if you can check, we're having negative and negative. This negative and negative, they can cancel each other. When they cancel each other, we are going to remain with a positive numbers here, which is 0,1963880,182 is equals to I. So you are not done. Like I told you before, because you are calculating the interest rate, you must always multiply it by what? Must always multiply it by 100. We multiply this decimal number by 100. Now our interest rate is going to be, just take this, avoid the negative because we have already cancelled the negative there. I showed you how to cancel those negatives because we had negative and negative, they cancel each other. So we are going to avoid the negative here. We just multiply everything by what? By 100. We found that it's 19.64%. 19.64%. That is our final answer. It's 19.64%. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video or to leave questions on the comment section. I will get back to you. We move to the next question, which is question 3. Given the linear pattern, this is the pattern that we have, 7, 2, negative 3. So there we are given that pattern. And then the first question says, determine the general term, which is Tn of the linear pattern. So obviously we have to find the difference first. That is the first step that we need to do. If they say it's a linear pattern, it means that we are going to have a constant first difference. So it's 2 minus 7, which is negative 5. The other side, we are going to have negative 3 minus 2. It's also what? Negative 5. So we can tell from here to say that our D is equals to negative 5. And they want us to determine the term, the general term. General term is given by A plus n minus 1 D. A is our first term, which is 7, plus n minus 1 D, we said is negative 5. So we'll move forward. We're gonna say we just have to simplify that. Is 7 minus 5n plus 5. This multiplied by this is 5n. This multiplied by this is 5. So our Tn is now going to be negative 5n. Combine the two, gonna give us 12. So that is our Tn. Tn is equals to negative 5n plus 12. Moving to the next question, which is 3.1.2. It says that determine or calculate the value of T20. T20 is very simple. Just gonna say T20 is equals to, we go back to our n term that we have calculated. We just replace n by what? By 20. We're gonna have negative 5, 20 plus 12. Then from here we use a calculator. We're going to have negative 5, negative 5, 20 plus 12. We found that it's negative 88. Negative 88. And then 3.1.3. 3.1.3 says which term in the pattern have the value of negative 138. So now they've given us this as our Tn. We are now going to say negative 138 is equals to negative 5n plus 12. We solve for n in this case. 12 to the other side is going to be negative 138. When we transpose 12 is going to be negative 12 is equals to negative 5n. Find the difference here. Negative 138 minus 12 is negative 50. Negative 50 is equals to negative 5n. We divide everything by negative 5. Divide by negative 5, we found that n is equals to 30. 30 is equals to n. So that is our answer. We know that is T30 is equals to negative 138. Because of space, because this is our linear pattern, we know that we must have what? A constant first difference, which will be 6 minus T2, 2x plus 1 minus 6, or 3x minus 3 minus 2x plus 1, which will result us into 2x minus 5. The other side will be 3x minus 3 minus 2x minus 1, which is 3x minus 2x minus 3 minus 1, and then which will be 2x, which will be x, x minus 4. X minus 4. When you simplify this, we're going to get x minus 4, and then we're having this, and we also have that. So we are saying these two are equal because it's our constant difference. We're gonna say 2x minus 5 is equals to x minus 4. We transpose this to the other side, going to be 2x minus x is equals to minus 4 plus 5. Then x is equals to 1. That's how we solve the value of x. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to ask questions.